Well, words that may do more than just sting. U.S. Senator Bob Corker today went further than any elected Republican member of Congress has gone so far in questioning U.S. President Donald Trump's fitness for office. Now, earlier today, Senator Corker made the rounds on early morning television, repeating his criticism of what he called Mr. Trump's dismal performance. He said the president's planned luncheon with senators today was distracting and nothing more than a photo op. Now, Senator Corker sits on the powerful Foreign Relations Committee in the Senate. Now, earlier this month in a New York Times interview, he lashed out at the president's rhetoric over North Korea, saying that the president could lead the U.S. to World War III. Well, Mr. Trump quickly retaliated on Twitter, which led Senator Corker to then send that infamous tweet comparing the Trump White House to an adult daycare center. Now, here is part of what the senator said today, upping the ante against the U.S. president.
Someone of this mentality or as President of the United States is something that is, I think, debasing to our country. And, it's, you would think he would aspire to be the President of the United States and act like a President of the United States. But, that's just not going to be the case, apparently. And it's up to others who serve in elective capacity, whether they're governors or mayors or senators, to, try to conduct themselves in a manner that is more becoming of a leader. But he's obviously, not up to that. I've had, multiple occasions where the staff has asked me to please intervene. He was getting ready to do something that was really off the tracks. And look, I've seen no evolution in an upward way. I mean, as a matter of fact, I would say it appears to me that it's almost...
Yeah, he's said that the president's actually devolving. I mean, those are strong fighting words in Washington. The U.S. president was watching that interview, and he fired off a series of tweets attacking Senator Corker. Bob Corker, who helped President Obama give us the bad Iran deal and couldn't get elected dog catcher in Tennessee, is now fighting tax cuts. That was the first tweet. Then he went on to tweet, Corker dropped out of the race in Tennessee when I refused to endorse him, and now is only negative on anything Trump. Look at his record. Trump added another tweet. Isn't it sad that lightweight Senator Bob Corker, who couldn't get reelected in the great state of Tennessee, will now fight tax cuts? Plus, and he tweeted further, Senator Corker is the incompetent head of the Foreign Relations Committee, and look how poorly the U.S. has done. He doesn't have a clue, as the entire world was laughing and taking advantage of us. People like little Bob Corker have set the U.S. way back. Now we move forward. All right, let's pull in our Washington correspondent, Carolina Chamoy. Carolina, it's good to see you. Well, the feud between the senator and the U.S. president has certainly kept you busy today. Talk to me about the impact of Corker's criticism today. I mean, will it make a difference in the Trump White House in the long term?
Well, probably it will. The impact has just started, Brent, because it is now another Republican senator. You named him Jeff Flake, who has announced that he's not going to run again for Senate in the midterm elections next year in November. And that means he has nothing to lose, just as Corker, who is also retiring from Senate. So also Flake found very clear and very hard words against the President of the United States. He said we should not normalize Donald Trump's behavior. You can excuse one thing or two, but not continuously. We have to speak out and stand up. I hope that more of us do. We can't wait any longer. We can't continue with this behavior. And this clearly shows a kind of rebellion in the Republican Party. And as we know, also Senator John McCain will retire from Senate because of health reasons. And in the past, he also has criticized President Donald Trump. McCain said that Donald Trump is poorly uninformed and impulsive, and also asked asked yesterday on whether there was a relationship between him and the president, McCain answered almost none. So with Flake and McCain and Corker, there are already 3 senators of the Republican Party who have found very clear words against the president, Brent.
Yeah, I want to pick up, too, on Senator Jeff Flake. We've got a soundbite from him that just came in. Let's take a listen to what he said today.
We must stop pretending that the degradation of our politics and the conduct of some in our executive branch are normal. They are not normal. Reckless, outrageous, and undignified behavior has become excused and countenanced as telling it like it is, when it is actually just reckless, outrageous, and undignified. And when such behavior emanates from the top of our government, it is something else. It is dangerous to a democracy.
I mean, Carolina, I think what's interesting looking at this is the fact that we've got these members of Congress, Republican members of Congress now, lashing out at the president, but these are not members who are running for re-election. I think that's something for our viewers to keep in mind. These are, members of Congress who have nothing to lose at the ballot box next go around. Let's take this story, though, beyond U.S. borders. Senator Corker sits on the Foreign Relations Committee. He said today that leaders around the world know that the president is not telling the truth. What can Mr. Corker do in terms of foreign policy to limit Donald Trump's agenda?
Well, he is the chairman of the Committee of Foreign Affairs in the Senate, and the Congress has already shown in past situations that they can decide without having the support of Donald Trump. For example, in the case of Russia, they decided to impose sanctions against Russia, even though Donald Trump didn't want this. So they do have an influence on foreign affairs. And regarding that, other countries, for example, Germany, are looking for different paths to have a dialogue with the United States. Maybe ignoring, in a way, the White House. Corker might be a perfect partner to talk with for the German Bundestag, for example.
Yeah, that's an important point to make there, and we'll have to see how this plays out. I have a feeling this story has some very, very long legs. Our correspondent in Washington on the story for us tonight, Carolina Chamoy. Carolina, thank you very much.